get that done. And I don't want to take over this department, so I'm gonna talk to you in private.
No, we waiting on everybody to come on. So we have time. Okay.
I'm pitching to Audible. Did I tell you that? Yes, Audible. They want to do a discovery call with Divaneering Lab on the 25th.
Kudos on that.
I'm sorry?
I was saying kudos.
Oh, thank you, Justin. I'm really excited because I didn't even think about Audible as like a partner. But when I understand how we align now. And so I'm really excited. But
yeah, I'm excited.
Congratulations, Shauna.
Thank you so much.
I'm always amazed at like all of the different things that other like groups are into. Like when I look at like during COVID, like I received grants from individuals that I didn't think of how they would align with childcare, and you'd be surprised. So now I read everything that come across my desk with a fine-tooth comb because you know people are interested. Congratulations.
Right.
For you all Shauna is the inventor of a dryer that's coming out. She's an engineer and just a down-to-earth sister that is just amazing in her work that she does, is always thinking about ways that she can give back. And I'll let her tell all her stuff, but tell them what you're doing, Shauna. You got 3 more minutes.
So I am an inventor, an educator, and an engineer. I'm the founder of Divaneering Lab, where we are revolutionizing the beauty tech industry with the first ever no heat dryer for bundles and wigs. We will be decreasing the drying time from 24 hours to just 15 minutes. More importantly, we have an impact arm where we're out in the community, cultivating audacious and brilliant women in science, technology, engineering, innovation, and math. We are launching kits. We're launching chemistry kits on February 24th. So you can teach your child chemistry and cosmetics in your kitchen or classroom. And we do, and we have an inspiring story. I started this from being a surrogate 2 years ago. Is how I got my startup funding. And the rest is history. Like, we're living the dream over. We're living the dream. I fired my dog.
That is too cool.
Yeah, it is. Thank you so much, Justin, and everyone else on the call.
Nah, for real, in real life, like, sound like you ready for like Shark Tank or something, the way you pitch that thing.
Shark Tank, Oprah's couch, all that.
Come on now, Oprah's couch and all that though. Lunch with Oprah next week.
I really wanted to share your story because, you know, I know personally some individuals on the call that need to hear your story, that they're getting started, they're overcoming their fears and all that good stuff. Shauna also has a book coming out that's going to be talking about all of the things that she went through from beginning to end and all of that good stuff too. But so yeah, I wanted you to just share a piece so that you could inspire others.
When's the book launch? When's the book launch?
The book is being written right now on the calendar. It was supposed to be launching February 15th. But we're going to have to put like another month on it. Just because we got so many blessings and opportunities coming in. Like Lake Clifton is interested in the Divaneering Lab at their school. So I'm overwhelmed, y'all, with joy. And I definitely can tell you it's consistency. I've been working at this for over 10 years. I started this in 2013. And I'm talking about before STEM was, you know, this thing that everyone knew about. Right. And not only that, you know, I'm from Baltimore and I'm an engineer.
Baltimore.
So so in the industry, you know, I often felt like I was, you know, a little bit too authentic for them. But I've always was true to myself, and it's paying off. That's all I can say. Just be true to who you are. And we need individuals to be unique, to truly be unique so that we can reach more people, because people are different. So just stay encouraged, be consistent. That's all I can say for right now.
That's beautiful.
Thank you so much for sharing. I'm gonna ask one more person to share, because this is the reason we moved our event from Monday to Tuesday, was so we could do Toastmasters, and then not on Wednesday, so that we could tune into Miss Glenda, who does She Speaks. And Miss Glenda, if you don't mind just sharing a little bit about She Speaks, where we can tune into you all, and then we'll get started.
Good evening, everybody. Again, my name is Glenda Curtis. I have a nonprofit organization called CHRIS Incorporated. That's an acronym, and it stands for Coordinating Holistic Resources, Initiatives, and Services. And out of that, because I work with families in crisis and primarily work with the children's caretaker, I had an idea to create a platform for women to just share their compelling stories. And I just launched a radio program back in May, and it's called She Speaks, and it stands for Share Her Experience. So we just highlight the work of women, how they navigated from trauma to triumph, and just telling their stories about how they started their businesses, how they're helping out in their communities, and all the wonderful things that they have going on in their lives that go unaddressed or not recognized, so to speak. So we're on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. from 6 to 7 on WMEG. We ask that the listeners download the TuneIn app to listen to the broadcast, and we're also moving to a podcast so that we can kind of revisit some of those stories. And just recently, I started highlighting women who are gun violence survivors in Baltimore, and it has propelled that to start a She Speaks docuseries, at which OWN TV, WeTV, A&E, all of those networks are looking to buy into the story. So we have our fingers crossed. We meet with the film crew on Saturday to kind of discuss some logistics. So we're moving forward with that. Thanks for the opportunity to share.
Absolutely. See, Shauna, Glenda gonna be able to introduce you to Oprah. It's all gonna connect together.
Yes, I'm here for this, Glenda.
Yeah, and I need you to. I think I spoke with you earlier, a couple months back, about some invention logistic stuff. So I want to connect with you after this.
Okay, let's make it happen.
All right. Without further ado, okay. Oh, and then my friend Sarah here said that she would be you all's business architect. So see, oh man, all of this from parenting. So I am excited tonight. We are starting now to every at the beginning of every Parenting Doesn't Come with a Book, we're going to honor and have one of our parents be an expert, subject matter expert on some topic. And so I'm excited to introduce tonight I'm only saying Mr. just because I'm introducing you. But I'm introducing Mr. Justin Brown, who is going to talk tonight about, I'll let him tell you, for the first 10 minutes, and then we're going to get started talking about it, and everybody can chime in then. Mr. Justin, you have the floor.
All right. Thank you. And Kendra, I'm gonna set my little timer for 10 minutes so I can, stay on task. I take my presentations very seriously. But good evening, everybody. My name is Justin J. Biz Brown. And I am going to talk about knowing yourself as a parent. I think that's a good topic. There's a lot to unpack, but let's see if we can get it done in 4 points. First, I want to start with knowing your ABCs. It sounds so elementary, I know, but if you break it down to an acronym, it goes, you gotta consider that your actions, your behavior, your choices, your decisions affect your future. Your actions, your behavior, your choices, your decisions affect your future. So with that in mind, I would like to ask a question. Who are you? So when I say who are you, and please mute all your devices. Please mute all those devices. So when I ask who are you, you gotta strip yourself of all titles. You gotta take the mom title away. Please mute your devices. You gotta take the mom title away. You gotta take your job title away. You gotta take the wife title away, and then really focus on who are you. I'll give you an example. So if I ask myself, who are you, Justin Brown? Who are you? I would say, I'm consistent. Who are you, Justin? I am reliable. Who are you? I'm disciplined. All right. So I would like for one of you ladies or gent, I can't really see everybody on here, but I would like for one of you ladies or gents to volunteer and tell me who you are. Give me like 2 or 3 things about who are you. Who's first?
I'm gonna ask Jerry, who didn't have her phone muted, to go since the phone was
I
on.
love it.
I'm gonna go ahead and ask her to chime in with who she is too.
Let's do it.
Have her phone muted.
You're up.
I'm love.
Okay.
I happiness.
Okay.
I am
I'm sorry, what's the last one?
encouragement.
Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you for that.
Say encouraging, and
So Jerry, he just wanted 2. I think he's on a time around the room.
Yes, I got 7 minutes and 13 seconds. Thank you for stepping out there. I appreciate you. Who's next? Give me one more. And Kendra. Okay, go ahead. Now, Sean, I was gonna have Kendra just puts my on the spot, but Shauna, you stepped out there. Please step up to the mic. Thank you.
Sure. I am audacious, I am bold, and I am brilliant.
Okay, audacious, bold, and brilliant. I love it. I love it. Matter of fact, we got 6 minutes. Can you give me one more person? One more person, please. Who are you? Who are you, Glenda?
I am uncompromising and I am in progress.
I'm sorry, just for clarity purposes, you are uncompromising with what?
Just with whatever life throws my way. When I find a situation that I'm passionate about, I don't waver. I just kind of move forward in that passion. My background is in families and civil rights and things like that. So I just don't compromise my efforts and, gaining whatever success.
I like that. Thank you, Glenda. Carlisha Denise Collins, Storybook Smith. I see you just jumped on. Thank you for joining. Who are you, Carlisha?
Hi, I am Carlisha.
Hey.
And what that means is, hello everybody, by the way. I am loving, I am generous, and I am innovative.
Okay, thank you, Denise Collins Smith. So, considering all those things we just said, those beautiful things we said about ourselves, and then relating it back to the topic of knowing yourself as a parent, I think it's important to keep that core about ourselves, to keep that foundational coreness about, that's a word, coreness about ourselves, all right? So with those things in mind, what are your goals as a parent? I'll go first. My goal as a parent at this point, and I start small. As a parent, I want to purchase a home, and I want to put my boys in their own room. I want my son to have his own room. I want his brother to have his own room. What is my goal as a parent? I would like to save up. I'm sorry, these things are not written down. I apologize. So they're not officially goals, technically, in theory. Okay, thank you. But if I were to write down a goal that was a parent goal, I would say I want to save up X amount of dollars. So therefore, when my boys are out of high school, they have the decision to take this money to cover tuition for your bachelor's, or you can take that money and put it into some kind of entrepreneurship venture. That's something I want to do as a parent. I have 4 minutes, and I would like to hear 2 volunteers tell me a goal that they have as a parent. Please.
I'll go. One of my goals is to spend more intentional time with my children. So like not just having them at work with me, but turn my phone off, shut off from business, and really spend intentional time. And then another goal for my children would be to allow them to be who they are, taking myself out of the equation, like whatever they want to hear, whatever they want to do, which is a struggle for me, but those are two of my goals.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for that. All right, I got 3 minutes. I got one more, please. One more volunteer, please.
Okay, I'll go.
Thank you.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Hello? Okay, let's controlling is one goal.
Okay.
To raise productive, go ahead, y'all go ahead. Where are you going? I'm standing right here, excuse me. To raise productive children, kind children, loving children, children who are motivated, but mainly humanitarians, those who give back, and I hope that I'm able to inspire them to reach those goals and live that type of life.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I got 2 minutes, 45 seconds. So with that in mind, of knowing yourself as a parent, knowing who you are individually, because believe it or not, you were actually a whole person before this kid came here. All right, please mute your devices. Thank you. I got 2 minutes, 30 seconds. I need all my 2 minutes. So knowing yourself as a parent individually, because like I was saying, you were a person before this kid came here. You know that, right? Like you had your own individuality. You were your own person. You had things that you wanted to do personally. And then sometimes I know when a kid comes into the picture, you know, if you bought that parent life, we make that shift. We make that shift to give our kids our energy, our time, our effort, our resources, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, seen and unseen, right? So with that in mind, you got to ask yourself questions like, what are you good at? You know, ask yourself, what makes you special? And also, what are some things that you would like to work on? Those are a few things I grabbed from YouTube. But lastly, for my 1 minute and 45 seconds, I want to talk about how to emotionally handle stress. One thing that I gathered is that in the event of your kid driving you crazy, and I mean like I'm about to do a backflip crazy, it's good to reflect. Appreciate the moment, and I really take a moment to like just grab 3 things in your mind that you're just grateful for and reflect. I mean, whenever my boys drive me nuts, I like to reflect on how proud I am to be a dad, how, you know, me being here helps, you know, my impact, my contribution helps. And that really helps me get my brain and my attitude together. Another tactic is to believe in yourself, believe in your own parenting abilities, that, you know, that you are prepared for this moment, you know? A good way to do that is to repeat very affirmational things to yourself. You know, I am strong, I am dedicated, I am consistent, you know, I am dad, hear me roar. Well, I think the women got that quote, but yes, y'all got that down pat. Either way, another one is, my last 20 seconds, is to reach out to someone, reach out to another parent, reach out to a friend. You know, it's good it's important that you have your village tight for those moments that you are feeling frustrated. So you have someone that you can confide in. And another way to manage your stress is to find time to play with your child each day. All right, find time. I know we ain't got time, but we got to create time to play with our kids each day. So I believe that if you, in my conclusion, the best way to know yourself as a parent is to focus on your ABCs, which is your actions, your behavior, and your choices and your decisions affect your future. Know who you are individually. 3, stick to those goals. And number 4, be very mindful about how you can emotionally handle stress. Thank you. I yield the floor.
Yay! Everybody throw your applause up.
Yay! Very good.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. And my person here that is all about her due diligence and time management, she said, and within 10 minutes, Justin. Does anybody have any they want to say to Justin before we go on? Questions? That was great.
Thank you, Ross.
You did a great job, Justin.
I appreciate you.
Good job, JJ.
Thank you, Denise Collins.
Good job. I want to say one real quick thing.
Yeah.
Is that like I really appreciate it as one of the senior people on here. I appreciate you. I want to say from a senior person standpoint that you all are talking a lot about stages in life that I'm already past. Like I am your mother, and might be some of your grandmothers, and so you never stop being a parent, and so your goals and ideas might change as they get older. But I love this. This is so refreshing and encouraging, and
Beautiful.
I enjoy it every week. And the things that you all have to say, but it's refreshing to just see a brother on here.
I appreciate you. I'm trying to represent for all the Black dads. I mean, Black dads first, but dads in general, but definitely Black dads.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jerry, for that feedback, and thank you for amazing presentation. I'm really excited about anybody hosting the first 10 minutes of our
Nice.
Parenting Doesn't Come with a Book. So if you see a topic, you have a topic that you'd like to talk about, feel free to send me a message, and it's yours, whatever week or date that you're available for our Tuesday meeting. So we're going to jump right in. Tell me something about you as a parent, or you as something about you knowing yourself. Whether you're a parent or co-parent, I realize that parenting is not just exclusive to biological parents. It is co-workers, it's the whole village, it's everybody. So whether you have children or don't have children, tell me something that you know about yourself.
Okay. I know that I am disciplined, and so I am definitely the aunt that don't play, the aunt that is serious, the aunt that you gotta, or the mother or the sister. But I'm definitely disciplined, and so I know that I have laid that kind of like characteristic out about myself. I think it's a good characteristic for the most part. Sometimes I gotta find my balance, but for the most part, I appreciate that about myself, because I force people to be disciplined with themselves when they're coming to deal with me.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Shauna. So when we find challenges like that, things that we're not good at, like once we do that introspective analysis of ourselves and realize that there's things that we're not good at, let's talk about some things like what are some ideas that we can share with each other that once we find out that like time management for me is one of my challenges, right?
Yeah,
so what are some things like let's brainstorm like some solutions, or like what are some things that you all find helpful for yourself when you find that it's some things that you're just not good at as a parent. If you're not, I know in previous conversations, some people said that they're not as affectionate as they want to be. Like, what are you doing? Because this is always going to be a solution-based platform. Like, what are you doing to overcome some of those challenges?
Yeah, I'll jump out there. Just piggybacking off what you said, Nkenge, time management is a big challenge for me. I be late, and I don't like it. It's a reflection of being not disciplined. Being late means that I didn't prioritize it. Being late means I didn't prepare, and I don't like it. But to and I was also listening to a book called Becoming from Michelle Obama. That was her birthday this past. She's a Capricorn. That's never topic. But the book just kept reiterating how she would be in the mindset of, if I'm physically able to do something and it's in my power or my realm of control or power, she's going to do it. You know, like not wait for someone else to do it, not wait for someone else to address it or fix it, or, you know, none of that, you know, just really proactive. Like pretty much if she has any say so or any power over a situation, she's going to maximize the moment every time. So what does that mean? So as far as me being late for a lot of things, I'm like, hey, what do I have control over? I can get gas the night before. What do you have control over? I mean, I guess I could pack that lunch the night before, you know, but what do you have control over? Okay, you already know it takes an hour to get there. Why would you leave for exactly an hour? You know, leave 5 minutes early. You know how traffic be by, you know, certain times a day, you know, so it's like just trying to exercise that mindset of things I have control over, to do it, you know, like don't try to cram every last damn thing in the morning right before I gotta take these kids to school. Don't cram it because it always crashes. You know what I'm saying? So if you can control something, you know, go ahead and do it, you know. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you. Does anyone else have anything to share about themselves, knowing themselves as a parent that might be helpful to somebody else? That's like really, that's an attribute you would say you have about knowing yourself as a parent that has worked for you, or you found that it's been helpful?
I think, can I go?
Oh.
Hello?
Carlisha came off of mute first, so I'll let Carlisha go first, and then Can I Go was Michelle, and then Injury.
I would just say I'm not organized when it comes to all their clothes and you know, keeping things in order. It's more like just grab this, let's go. I can't find any socks. You know, I want to get better with that. It's just once I do organize everything, it seems like the next day it's disorganized again. So I'm looking to find different skills to organize. But what I'm good at showing love. I'm good at giving and, you know, and making sure they have the answers when they have questions. I'm good at that kind of stuff. But when it comes to having your household in order, I am the worst. And I do need to get more organized with that.
Thank you for sharing that, Carlisha. Carlisha, can I ask you a question? Because in one of our previous conversations with the Parenting Doesn't Come with the Book, someone shared not being able to show love before, like not being able to show those kind of emotions. Can you give us like what that looks like for a person that doesn't know how to do that? Can you share like what that kind of giving love looks like, or what's the act that a person that doesn't know how to do that, what would they do to show love to their children or be that thing that you're great at?
I would say anytime you see them, when you pick them up, it's like you just pretend it's the most happiest moment of your life. I mean, because it is for them to see you. So anytime you see me pick up my boys, or, you know, me picking up from their activities, you know, they get hugs. It starts with that. They get hugs like, wow, I hope you had a great day. Like, you know, just feeding that energy to them. Like, wow, I am very happy to see you. I'm genuinely happy to see you. Even though I saw you 4 hours ago, I missed you in the time that I didn't see you. And I do that all the time, but I'm just in the habit of doing that because I am genuinely happy to see them, and that didn't get hurt while they were at Taekwondo. That they, you know, that their teacher said they did a good job in class today. I want to brag about that to them, not brag about it to other people, but brag about it to them.
Thank you very much, Carlisha. That was very helpful for me. I know with my son, I shared before, like I really was unemotional, like when it came to, because it was like, I always felt like as a Black boy, I was preparing him for this harsh world. So I parented in a way that with him that wasn't quite as loving as I do with my daughters. But I wanted to know what that actually looks like, because I don't think that it's ever too late. Even now, when I ask him, I'm like, I may say, Kevin, give me a hug. And he's like, what's wrong with you? You know, because, you know, I didn't do that, but he still appreciates it now, even at 22. So I appreciate you sharing that. And I'm definitely going to make sure that that was a great takeaway for me. So I appreciate you sharing that. Anyone else?
Hello?
I don't know if I have. Okay.
Yes.
Michelle, and then Injury.
So one of the things that I have like really worked on as an adult is honoring my own humanity. realizing that I am not superhuman and that I do make mistakes, and, you know, apologizing when I do make those mistakes. A lot of adults will do something and just keep it moving, you know, not trying to acknowledge that humanity, and also giving yourself grace, you know, and being humble. So like that's a really important thing when engaging with young people, not trying to keep this hard front, but showing your vulnerability.
I like that. I like that a lot, Michelle. I always need like the version for dummies, the 12, some kind of 12-step program to really. So can you just walk me through what that looks like for you? Like what processes do you do to actually embrace and like your mistakes? Like when you make a mistake, do you like tell me what that looks like?
I mean, just calling it out, just saying it out loud. So for example, I was taking my nephews on a trip recently, and I was upset about something else, but it was coming through in the way that I was engaging with them. And I recognized it and called it out and apologized to them. And of course they were like, oh no, you good, it's cool. But it made me feel better to acknowledge it. And it also helped me to shift my energy in the moment.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Injury.
I don't have anything to add, but I wanted to ask Shauna. She mentioned discipline, and I know discipline in parenting, and I can be disciplined in several areas of my life. So I know I do have the ability to be disciplined. However, I'm rarely disciplined when it comes to parenting. I kind of just, I'm a free spirit. I just wing it. You know, I try to do what works, and then, you know, find out that doesn't work, I try something else. But I'm never disciplined when it comes to punishments or, you know, rules or schedules in terms of keeping the house clean. So I want to kind of take some of my work ethics from, you know, and my discipline from, you know, other areas of my life, and incorporate that into my parenting role. And so Shauna, can you give me some examples of how you maintain discipline as you know, how you are disciplined as a parent? What are some examples you would like to share?
No problem. Great question. So I think first it starts kind of like with my disposition when it comes to what I say I want it done, and I mean that I want it done before we can do anything that you want done. That is, so just my disposition alone is very serious in nature when it comes to expectations for my daughter. The other thing that I'm very disciplined about is it's just her and I in the household, but chores. I mean, the only chore she has is the kitchen. So I do not let up on her about that at all. I make sure I come back and check to see if she, you know, cleaned the kitchen the way that I taught her to. So those are two things. And I feel like that's just consistency. That other thing, just being consistent with what you say and what you mean. I think last week they said, let your yes mean yes and your no mean no. So I'm really big on that. Those are a few things that come to mind. Hopefully that helps.
It does. Thank you.
Can I jump in here?
Yeah, why not?
Anybody have anything that they like? I'm sorry for that. It made me think about it, Andrew, when you went back to Shauna's question. Did anybody have?
If I could jump in, you know, I definitely want to piggyback on what was just said and in regards to with the discipline part. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
With the discipline part, and that was me that, of course, that says let your yes be yes and your no be no. And the other part of that is anything more than that is considered evil. So and I think it goes into that because it says you get into starting to make up stories and you get to lying and all that. So it's just yes or no, because you start to make up stuff and then it becomes evil because you start to lie. So I think far as parenting, the biggest thing that I've done with my children is I would rather bite my tongue off as opposed to lie to them or say something to them that I could not make come true. You understand? So even from the smallest things, if I'm at the store and I say I'm gonna whip your tail when we get home, I wouldn't care if it was 1 o'clock in the morning. Before they go to bed, they got to get that tail beat.
Keep my word.
And yeah, because you have to keep your word to them, even in the smallest things, and they'll grow up respecting and doing the exact same thing. So whatever you do, I would definitely suggest that whatever you say to your children, make it come true, whether it's small, whether it's big, whether it's a promise, whether it's a threat. That would be my thing. And your children will always honor you and respect you more in keeping your word. So that would be my biggest takeaway. And be solid with your kids all the time, because if you don't have your word, what else do you have? And everything else comes will follow suit with that. Your love, your compassion, the understanding, all of that will be encompassing once you start to keep your word to your children. So that's my thing to say tonight. Thank you.
Big up, big respect.
Thank you, Ross. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Did anyone else have anything?
Yeah, Kendra, I'll say something. Around the time management, you mentioned about time management, and that was something I struggled with as well. And these also, I was also tied into the discipline as well. But what I had recently did, one of my strength and weakness is me being a nurturer. So me being a nurturer is a strength, and then me being a nurturer is a weakness as well. Because the nurturing part of me wants to be like, oh no, you go ahead. I don't want to hurt them by holding them accountable. So you see the tears in the eyes and I get weak. But that's tied around to, the discipline. But I won't be all over the place. But as far as the time management, what helped me was putting more structure in place and time blocking. So I'll just block out time. Like I have a whole schedule now. It had to come to this because the kids, I wasn't holding them accountable all the time. I wasn't being consistent. So I put a whole structure in place where this time, everything's time blocked. This is the time you have to have your chores done. If it's not done by this time, this is the consequence. This is the time for your homework. If it's not done by this time, this is the consequence. It's a whole structure and schedule in place for them, and to hold them accountable. And I stripped them away from all of their I guess privileges, because they was being, I guess, felt like, oh, they're supposed to do it, entitled, like, oh, I'm supposed to get this. They so used to having everything all the time. So I just stripped it away and they had to earn everything back as one, everything is earned now. It's not just given and just taken away. You have to earn it, because that's the way, when you grow up as an adult, nothing's given to us. We have to go out and earn it. So all of that's tied together when I put the time management in place. Time with kids, I block out time for each kid. Like, this is your one-on-one time, and then family time. And I even also have a family cleaning day. So for 2 hours, I block out on Sundays. We're gonna do family cleaning together. So everything is structured around, and if you don't do it, this is the discipline, and this is me being more consistent. So all of that ties together for me, the time management and structure and the discipline, and just me being consistent, because like I said, my weakness is my strength. So my strength is my weakness.
Thank you, Tiffany. I think those are all great suggestions, all great input. I'm going to the chat just to read. I love that adding the time requirement or expectation with a consequence. And one of the things you also said, and then I'm gonna go to Shauna, she has her hand up. One of the other things that you said, I think that was really important, or what it sounds like to me, not what you said, what it sounds like is that as a parent, it requires us to have to create, be consistent in our schedule and what we do too. So like, and I think that that's been one of my challenges, is that parenting sometimes comes with having to block that 2 hours out, things that I have to be a part of in addition to their regular daily activities. So I think that's one of the things that we have to just embrace as parents, that those are things that's going to come with being a parent, that you're going to have to do those things as well. Shauna?
Yes. I wanted to go back to the lady who or Caleb is what it says. I didn't catch her name, but when she mentioned on staying organized, I wanted to give her an app that I recently learned about called Cozy. Cozy is a app that helps you helps moms or fathers, but it's geared towards moms. Keep the family schedules organized, down to if the child said, if you asking, what do you want from the grocery store? Anyone in the family can add, to this list of things that they like. I don't know if we're giving them that much freedom, but I thought it was, really resourceful. And the fact that you could even get the market list done, but it's a collaborative tool for the whole family, for you to manage all of the different schedules of everyone. But it's geared towards moms in general, but moms specifically, but parents in general. And then the other thing that I wanted to mention was on keeping organized. I know for me, I was raised, to get up 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm making breakfast for my brothers that's younger than me and older than me, and just cleaning as a thing that we're supposed to do. We should, but hiring, someone, a housekeeper, like that's something that was kind of like my mother did not hire. I didn't see that happen in our house. We was the housekeepers, but as I've gotten older, I had to hire someone to help me come in and, be organized, keep deep clean for us and things like this. So I just wanted to put that out there because I know some of us were raised, that you got to be that woman that's, in there cooking, cleaning and all that stuff. And we're more revolutionary these days, more Renaissance women. And so that's another tip that I wanted to provide for her.
Thank you for that. It's definitely helpful, that app. I definitely need all the help I can get. I was raised on my end on the outside. Like we were never in the house. My mom was working, so we were out doing stuff. We couldn't, like, even as a babysitter, we were not allowed to be in the house. We had to, be outside all day and come in and get ready for bed. Well, eat and get ready for bed. Like that was my whole life. So now with us being in the house so much, I'm like, dang, I just cleaned this bathroom, or I just cleaned my room. Like, so it's just like, it's adjusting to a new way of life for me from the time I was born to me being an adult now with 2 children. So I appreciate that app, and I'm going to check it out. So thank you.
Thank you both. Glenda has her hand up next. And I also wanted to read out of the chat. I switched computers, so I missed a few. Shauna echoed the A, B, C, D, E, F, which was actions, behaviors, choice, decisions, affect, future. And then she said, awesome, Justin. It's great to hear a young Black father drop them jewels. And then Carlisha, she echoed you saying, brag about them to them, which I thought was amazing as well. Go ahead, Glenda.
I just wanted to kind of piggyback on what the caller before the last caller said about parenting. I know that a lot of times we take on a lot of responsibilities because of how we were raised, but I think we have to be more open-minded to not repeating some of the parenting of our parents. As much as we love and respect and acknowledge that they did the best they could do with what they have, we have more information in this age, in this day and age, that we don't have to repeat everything. We can apply some of the new knowledge that we have and still having respect for what parenting styles came before us, but just not being afraid to acknowledge that some of our parents made some huge mistakes in some of the responsibilities that they placed upon us, because of what they were raised to do. So just being open-minded and just, saying it and expressing it in love, but carving out your own path based on what kind of times that we're living in today, and just utilizing those resources and tools that we have now to enhance our parenting.
Thank you, Glenda. I have Rich, and then Ross. And I have Shauna applauding. Thank you again, Glenda.
You're welcome.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Nkenge, honey. This is Toya, but Rich is my manifestation. So I wanted to just say parenting, like you say, doesn't come with the book. For me, parenting has always been a very unique experience from day one. So for me, I found that I'm very structured. So I believe in pursuing that. I had structure growing up. My mom or my parents were kind of like strict on me, but and I hated it. So when I grew up, I was like, I didn't get it until I really got it. Like, wait, oh, this is why they were that way. And then I learned to appreciate how I was raised, because it made me the woman that I am today. So some of those skill sets I placed upon my daughter in the sense of being consistent. If I ask you to do something, I don't want to keep asking you. I really expect you to do it once. Now, of course, you're going to have some kind of tug of war with your children at times. And at one time, it used to be an issue for me. Now I learned that sometimes that's okay. It's just about how you teach them to have boundaries. And how you also show them respect, how you open up your mind to be able to listen to them and what they have going on, their fears, their feelings, their emotions, to be open to those things. Again, consistency is always key. So basically, like if I tell you, and this is how, I'm raising my daughter, if I tell you the expectations to do certain things, that is what I expect. And then if I see that you're struggling with it, then I'm going to teach you and show you what you need to do to get to that point. My whole goal is to be a parent in parenting, which I never thought I would be a parent. My daughter was my blessing, or my miracle child. So with that being said, I was like, the main thing I always want for her, and now that she's into preteen, well, a teenager basically, I want to give her the skill set she needs to just for everyday living. I want her to be successful in life. I want to give her the skills and tools she needs, which I pray for every day, for her to be able to walk in her purpose, whatever that may be. And I pray to God for his protection over her, etc. Because that's, this generation struggles so much with different things that we didn't in our generation, or rather, we seem to have a little bit thicker skin than our now younger generation have. So just, being open-minded, just setting the tone, just setting the expectation of what you expect as a parent and being consistent with that. And just giving them the skills they need to, be able to be successful and be able to, and give them knowledge. Like, okay, to piggyback someone and say, some parents didn't, give you certain tools you needed when you were growing up, etc. When you know better, you do better. So in that situation, now it's like, okay, if I know this, then these are the tools and skill sets I should give to my child, whether it's teaching them financial literacy, whether it's teaching them the importance of, wealth, and the importance of hygiene, the importance of, knowing how to cook or have certain skills, trade skills, business skills, whatever that may have been lacking for some in their past. This is what you present them with as an innovative perspective. So that's pretty much how I maintain being a parent. And when you have a child that may have certain difficulties, etc., getting them the help that they need. Not being afraid to say my child needs help, or I need help with my child, reaching out to third parties, not just a village, but they may need to be in therapy. They may need a psychiatrist. It's okay. Like doing what you need to do to build that up. And again, the consistency. And the more that the child has consistency and structure, the better the outcome will be. And it's not always easy in the beginning, but over time, you'll see that work build up, and you'll start seeing the finishing where you're not even around and you see that they make decisions and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know we're listening, because half the time it seems like they aren't, but they really are paying attention. So those are the things that I would, that I pretty much put into my skill set of parenting.
Thank you for sharing that, Toya. And thank you so much for joining us this week. Thank you, Nicole, Imani,
You're welcome,
Markia, Michelle, Glenda, Injury, Carlisha, Justin, Tiffany, Ronnie, Jerry, Shauna, Lynette, and Lynette had an input that she wanted to share as well. And then Ross, I think you had your hand up. Did you take it down?
Kind of, sort of, but you can go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna let Lynette go, and then I'm gonna turn it back over to you.
So one thing that I've realized is that my time management, this is just a piggyback off of the time management piece. But the one thing that I've realized is that I'm terrible. And I'm a project manager. So for me to be terrible is really bad. But I'm terrible with my own life. At work, I can get them to do whatever I need them to do. However, one thing that I realized is that I love to use a planner. If I write it down, I will remember it. And then it's so tranquil because I actually decorate my planner and I just make my planner just work for me. And I sit there for like an hour, maybe every other day, and just write all my thoughts down. I journal, I use my planner, and I just write it all down. And it helps me to remember. So for those of you that were saying that, you have poor time management, that's one thing that's helping me. And please excuse my scarf. I was not supposed to be. Yeah. Thank you. That's it.
Yeah, that was good. Thank you.
Thank you. Ross, did you want to go?
Oh, I was trying to figure it out. Okay, so I wanted to, I hate to say I wanted to piggyback, but I do. I had to go into another room. I apologize. The one thing that is absolutely true, and this is to go to Glenda's point about changing doing things a little differently because we have so much more information and times have changed. I can remember just real quick is that I used to make ham all the time and I used to cut the front and backs off all the time because I saw my mother do it for years and I never knew why she did it. And I finally asked her, my grandmother, why does she do that? And she said, well, her mother did it and her mother did it. And then when I finally asked, she said, well, because we do it because the pan was too small. So all this time I'm doing it because I'm thinking it was something he was supposed to do and it wasn't that. So I was wasting all this food all these years because I thought that was what we were supposed to do. But anyway, that was just a funny story I wanted to say. So when you get new information, you do things differently because you have better information. So you do have to sometimes adjust. But we're talking a lot about things that we do, from the young lady who just said about writing things down. These are like biblical principles. That's also a biblical principle, whether you know it or not, because the scripturally says, write your vision and make it plain. So it's a lot of things that we're doing and we don't even realize that, God is in the mix of everything that we do and or say. And I think that if we get back to our roots, which is, the father and the heads of our houses, or the father of our lives, that we will be doing things in order and not even knowing it. So it's just refreshing to hear everyone say bits and pieces of everything that has a biblical truth to it. So not to get off on that, but it's fascinating to see how this all comes together.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think we are saying everything in love. And if God is love, then God is in it. You know what I'm saying? So, boom.
Thank you both, and of course this might be one of the only scriptures I know, but all things work together for the good of those who serve Him. So I will go ahead and throw mine out. You all know I grew up Muslim, so I'm learning the Bible now. So I'm talking about the scripture that I know. And I'm sorry if I offended anybody for joking about, but that was my,
At least it's not a Medea scripture. You know how you normally do.
And wait a minute, just to even share a funny story about how much of a heathen I am. When my sister was teaching children's church, my son went to her church, and so they asked him, Kevin, can you lead us in prayer? He might have been like 5. He started saying his grace. So that's a funny story. All right, we got about 5 more minutes. Did anybody else have anything they wanted to share? Any input? Not you.
Yes, I do. I don't know. Like I'm a real big stickler for discipline too, for real. Cause like I feel like as a parent, if I let my kid get away with something, I did this young man a disservice because I didn't introduce him to what discipline is. Because truth be told, like if I don't discipline him, he's gonna have a false perception out here as to what consequences are. Like, hey, I can do this, I can get away with it. Yeah, or I can do that. Ain't no problem with that, But I think that if I, discipline my kid in a healthy way, I think it will produce healthy results, you know? So, you know, not saying every discipline got to be a spanking for real. You know, it takes, you know, make sure that the punishment fits the crime, of course, you know, but I don't know, I don't hold back. So, and I think it's important to like really hold the line too. When I say hold the line, meaning like when they start give you those little puppy eyes and all that, nah, you need to finish your time or your term for your punishment, you know? So I love hard. I love hard. I discipline hard. I do everything hard. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's all I love though. All the love. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah, I got mediation came off of mute, and then Carlisha, you're right after Jerry.
Cool.
Jerry, did you come off of mute to say something?
Yeah, God is great. God is good. By his hand,
Carlisha, go ahead. Go ahead, Carlisha. And then lastly, we're gonna take Toya, and then we're gonna wrap up.
I was just gonna say, you know, take it easy on yourself, because you have to remember that you are a human being, and they are also human beings. I had to give the example of one time Caleb had this anger in him, and it was reflecting, and I didn't know what to do. So we decided to go to Kennedy Krieger and get some advice. And they didn't work on Caleb so much, but they worked on the parents. They worked on us and showed us different ways on how to deal with that and how to make it better. And Caleb is so much better now because we changed our parenting styles when it came to his discipline and came to things that we were doing with him. Not that we were just doing what we thought was okay. And to Caleb and the type of person he was, it wasn't. So I would just say, take it easy on yourself, because you're not going to have all the answers, but there is help and resources out here that we can grasp and get a hold of to help us. Like this.
Thank you, Toya.
Yeah, so I would like to say, to speak with what Justin spoke of. Basically, I always have a rule of thumb for my daughter, which is to take accountability. So for instance, if something goes wrong at school, or she, you know, they're at the age with the social media, which I actually don't agree with social media, but she did it so many times without my permission. I said, okay, you're gonna learn the hard way. Sometimes you gotta put them in position to learn their own lessons, unfortunately, because we can't control everything they do as children, even if we work so hard to. And with that being said, I was like, I'm gonna do reverse psychology. I'm just go ahead, instead of, you know, punishing her about it, going to do all these changes like I did prior, let her deal with it and see what the outcome is. You know, and they have these different things going on when they're growing up, especially if they're little girls, etc. Long story short, I just feel like I always tell her, well, I always ask her, what role did you play in the situation? What did you do? How did you handle it? How could you have done that better? Do you have to entertain what was said or what was done, or the cattiness, or how, like, learn how to separate yourself. Learn how to hold yourself accountable, be responsible for your part, learn how to apologize and mean it wholeheartedly. So those are the skills that I also, you know, enforce on my daughter to be able to take accountability. I tell her quick, I'm sorry, I'm the parent that if you do something, you do a crime, sis, you're going to do the time. Why? Because I'm going to support you to a certain extent, but I'm not going to sit here and hold you back for something that you could have done that was better, or that you know that's wrong. Now, if you get caught up in something different, you know, some other kind of situational scenario that's different, but you have to take accountability for your actions. So that's a big pet peeve for me. And we need to do it as adults as well. So I work on doing that personally. I'm big on that. Responsibility, owning up to your ish, making yourself better. So that's it.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody for your valued input, your feedback, and just an amazing another night of Parenting Doesn't Come with a Book. I appreciate everybody coming out tonight. Tiffany, I just got crabs. You know, I'm last minute. I got crabs and wine if you want to come over, and Glenda too. I know you all are close by. If you all want to come by, I got 2 dozens. And everybody else, have a great night. Thank you all. Thank you all. And Ross, if you want to come too. Thank you all. I know it's last minute, but I got wine and crabs. So if you all want to come by, and Shauna and Imani, anybody, if you want to come over, I got wine and
What
crabs.
about me?
Just
That would be wonderful.
You're welcome to come too. Just text me. I'll send you
Guys
the
get no
address.
love.
No, I'm sorry. Everybody's welcome. Just everybody can't come because it's only 2 dozen. And I already been promising Tiffany crabs and wine. So, okay. So thank you, everybody. I really appreciate tonight. If anybody would like to host next week's with any topic that they feel like they want to talk about, feel free to shoot me a text or inbox. Again, thank you for your valued input, and have a great night.
All right, good night, y'all.
Good night, everyone.